Hey guys, Bricks here and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a special look at the LEGO Masters panel. Now the panel actually took place during the BrickFan event that was in Orlando this past weekend. Now this one was on October the 5th and it was amazing. I love the fact that they shared a lot of their experiences during LEGO Masters, their expectations, their knowledge, and the contestants were so interactive with the audience. I love the fact that they just shared their passion and their love for brick building. So I hope you guys enjoyed the panel as much as I enjoyed being there.
Castle. How about you?
All right, my name is Corey Samuels from Season 1, OG season, LEGO Master, and also Bricktacular Celebrity Holiday Bricktacular Special Part 3. I don't know, it's so much words. My favorite color is Dark Azar. It's always like a light blue. It's I don't know. It's a nice color. I love it. And my favorite theme is LEGO Speed Champions and Marvel. So anything Marvel related.
My name is Steven, also Erickson. I'm Mark's teammate and brother for Season 2. This is a spoiler panel. If you have not watched much of LEGO Masters, spoilers, sorry. We won our season back in 2021. It was awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I am Nikki. I'm from LEGO Masters Season 5. That's the current season that just aired. And I competed with my sister, first ever sister team in the world. And spoiler alert, did not win. Did not win. But it was great. We had a great time. We went pretty far. We did. And my current favorite color is gold. I just did a brand new build over there, Harry Potter with gold. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to work with. And what my favorite themes are Friends. I absolutely love the colors, and I think Friends has come a long way since it first started. And you're seeing people kind of branch out, like people who would not normally buy Friends sets are grabbing onto some of those newer ones because they really are amazing. And I've got about 30 or 40 sets at home ready to build.
How y'all doing? So I am Tim, aka Tank, from Season 4. I was Tim and Tim, the Texas Dads, Texas Tims, and the Timinators. My favorite color is sand red. I love it in my mountain work and stuff. And favorite theme is the Wild West, but they don't really do anything Wild West anymore, so I love Ninjago as well, and that's my favorite current theme.
Hi, I'm Tacos, also known as Christine. I'm part of the Latinas Who LEGO in Season 3, also the Bricktacular Special. Favorite color? So LEGO just released a new color. It's blood orange. So, what if it's not blood orange, what is it called technically?
Medium orange?
No, we're going to call it blood orange. Okay, I like anything with blood in it. Well, it sounds weird. No, and if not neon yellow, the obnoxious neon yellow people don't like. I enjoy building Monkey Kid sets and Lego Dreams sets.
Great themes. Awesome. All right. Anybody have any questions about LEGO or LEGO Masters in the audience? Anyone? There we go. How did you guys first get into LEGO?
I'll start. Excellent question. So I was not your age when I started playing with Lego. The first glimpse of Lego I had was when I worked at KB Toys. I don't know if I'm dating myself here. I was a roller girl, literally passing out flyers to, I'm not gonna lie, creepy guys to come into the store to come buy stuff. And there would always be a line of people waiting for Lego to come off the delivery truck. That was my first experience, and I was like, what is this? What's up with all these creepy guys with Lego? I kid you not. But my first official experience with Lego was after I graduated school for engineering. I was given a bucket with a bunch of Technic pieces, and I was told for my interview to become a STEM instructor, build a car. So that was my first experience. So well after my, I'm gonna say 20s.
So I actually did have Lego when I was a little kid. My grandparents had a train set that was red, white, and blue brick, and you had to actually make the track. And then I didn't see Lego again until I was 43 years old, and my mother-in-law bought my son and I a set for Christmas, and this is my world now.
So I didn't get into Legos until my mid to late 40s a few years ago. And my kids, especially my youngest, who's 14 now, he wanted to build a Lego City for the longest time. And I don't usually tell people how I did this, but he wanted this Lego City, and people kept buying him sets. He'd get them for Christmas, his birthday, or whatever. But he didn't actually want to do the city for himself. He wanted me to do it. So finally one day I was like, what is this thing he keeps talking about? And I asked his brother and sister, what is he talking about? So they explained it to me, and I said, okay, fine, but where are all the sets that he had? They were already separated and poured. You're talking maybe 20 sets. So I took all of his instructions and one by one pulled the pieces from the chaos. Okay, I made my kids pull the pieces. Like, I need one of these, one of these, one of these. And over a couple of weeks, we ended up putting those sets back together and starting a city. And anyway, so I got into it, and I was like, this is way too much fun. Way too much fun. And since I have more money, I was able to outstrip them in Lego any day, started buying and started building for myself because it was just fun.
Awesome. Yeah, me and Mark have a pretty much identical story. We don't remember not having Lego. We got it very young, probably 4 or 5 years old, probably 5. And I'm going to be 30 next week, and we haven't stopped building since. So about 25 years of just nonstop building. When we were in our teens, we found out the community existed. Just these guys out here, all these amazing displays, and all these other awesome people and clubs and competitions here. We found out that existed, and it really sparked us to keep going and push our skill even further and further. And of course, we go on Lego Masters, and the rest is recent history.
Yeah, kind of the same story as these guys, but I'm not their brother. So. Well, your brother teams, yeah, maybe. But yeah, so my earliest remembering of Lego was at a preschool. My parents used to send me to a preschool, and I used to sit in the corner and play with the big bin of Lego. I didn't interact with anybody else, didn't care for anybody else. I just wanted to play with Lego, and my parents, they saw that, and they brought me Lego sets. They brought me bulk bins and stuff like that. I never liked building sets. The 90s set building was the worst. So we just used to build our own stuff out of what we had. So I would say 5 years old, that was when I started playing with Lego, and I haven't stopped. Hardest challenge for me came in my first appearance in Lego Masters, which was on season 1, which was also our eliminating episode. So we did the cut in half challenge. So that challenge was they had objects that were cut in half. You had to build the other side of that build, but it can't be the same half. It have to be something totally different. So me and my brother, we had our eye on the globe. Well, at least I had my eye on a globe. There was a piñata in the very far corner. We made eye contact for the globe. He ran straight across the globe, right over to the piñata. I could have kicked him for that. But we had to build something on the piñata, so we tried to build a car with the hours that we had. And I was totally locked in, and I did not want to pivot from what I was doing. And my brother was trying to get me out of that tunnel vision, because once I'm in there, I can't get out. And we ran out of time, and ultimately that was the challenge that sent us home. So that was a very hard challenge for me, not just losing, but I let my brother down in the process, and I beat myself up over it. So, but he said, I didn't really care to win. I just wanted to be on there with you. I was like, no, that's a sappy answer. I wanted to win. Get that out of here. No, I didn't want it, no. But it did bring us closer together, so, that was something that I do treasure.
I think that's a good answer. Oh, that's a nice brother. I got you. There's 2 challenges that were really difficult, but I'll stick with the earlier one. On episode 3 of our season, we had you probably already remember, we had the tower shake challenge. So from the audience's perspective, looks like a lot of fun, looks pretty crazy, all that, but no, it was torture. It was awful. Oh my word, way too little time, way too much to do. We had to pare back our model several times for what we wanted to make. We went to level 8 out of 11 on the Richter scale, I think it was, which sounds great, right? Until everyone was getting 10s and 11s and 9s and everything, and we were just like staying at the bottom. Lots of anxiety. I think I got a few gray hairs from that. But yeah, that was definitely a struggle. Just by the sheer volume, people were getting cut fingers and everything. It was a very hard, very, very difficult challenge. So episode 3, yeah.
Bringing back all the stress. I think that my hardest challenge was the first one because I was so nervous, and we had been filming all day, not the actual build. Like there's other filming that you have to do, and I was already tired. It was already hot, and we had to start our first challenge, I just felt mentally unprepared. When they spring it on you and say, by the way, go eat dinner, because after that you're starting. It was so hard, and I was so nervous. And after that challenge was done, I made it through. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't mess up on the first episode. And once I made it through, everything else after that was fun. We decided to have fun, we decided to relax, and it made everything go better.
Probably our hardest was the episode we went home on. We actually ended up pivoting 3 times. We started out with supposed to be a treasure chest, and you had to build a sound, which in the first place, which just seemed ridiculous in the first place. And Tim was doing the movement, and he was struggling with that. He spent about 2 hours with that. And every time Jamie and Amy, they came and talked to us 2 times every episode. I don't know why they did it to us every episode. Only us, twice. And every time they came that episode, we made a major change. And then probably halfway through, we finally decided on the magic show. And then we had to turn a treasure chest into a magic show. And so I will say, we were very proud of the build, and that was the one build that we were literally, with hands up, we were putting the very last brick in it. So, yeah, that was a rough one.
So many things can factor in on what's difficult. For one person may not be difficult for someone else. For me, it was season 3, episode 3, we had the Bucking Bull Ride Challenge. This was the 3rd episode in. We were about, I think it was a 9-hour challenge or a 10-hour challenge. You had to build basically a 3-foot character with 4 limbs that needed to hold on to a donkey. A bull rider, a mechanical bull. We were already exhausted from the previous 2 episodes. By the end of the day, it could range from like 9 at nighttime to 10:45. When we were told about the challenge, we needed to focus on centrifugal force. Building a really strong spine is really important. If your build decapitates, you're done. So aesthetics was 50%. It was a challenge where I had the Brickmasters come over and they questioned my structural integrity, and that's something that I really try to really harness. And as a STEM educator, I talk about structural integrity a lot in my STEM classes, so it was hard. I remember it was just the quietest episode for me and my teammate. We were basically not talking. I couldn't say anything because why? We were all mic'd up, and when you're mic'd up, the cameras are basically like sharks, so they can hear. Even if I were to say something in Spanish, they'll get a translator, and they'll be like, "Oh, these girls are fighting." I kid you not. So like any kind of any hyperventilating, they will basically come in, and it's like Jerry Springer. They're coming in with the cameras, exactly, and it got so intense. It's like, oh my god. So yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta cut that. No, but it was a hard challenge. But at the end, it was quoted, but technically it wasn't featured on TV. My build stayed on for 7 rounds, or level 7, and I got to serve them a piece of humble pie, according to Brickmaster Jamie.
That's awesome. Yeah, those cameras, they can, first of all, they're attracted to movement, and they can sense fear, so they'll get you. They want to catch those dramatic moments for the end.
Feeling stressed, and do you feel like the time is shorter than it actually is? I'm going to let you 2 on the end answer that.
Do you feel stressed? Absolutely. Lego is normally something you do to relax and unwind and let your creative juices flow, and just enjoy it. No, this was competitive building. It's a very different world. If you're familiar with any Lego competitions, like the Iron Builder, the Colossal Castle Contest, there's a couple out there that are fun. You can kind of warm up. We've done a few. So it wasn't too jarring, but it was very stressful. But, oh crap, what was the second part of it? The clock, yes, the clock, yeah. The time was interesting too, because it felt like the clock wasn't going fast or slow. It was getting faster at the last hour, always felt really quick. But for the most part, it's right there, you can't really miss it. So you can kind of see the minutes tick by. For me personally, it didn't really bother me. It was, it felt pretty, it felt balanced. It didn't feel too crazy. I'm sure there's other people who feel differently. But yeah, what do you think, Glenn?
So I have a unique experience by being in the regular season and then being on the holiday special. which is very different. So season 1 was very stressful because we didn't know what we were doing, neither did production, because we were the first season, we're the guinea pigs. So whatever rules was created for the rest of the seasons, we pretty much made them and broke them. So it was very stressful. And then what they would do, the clock would be ticking, and then they'll shut the clock off. So then we don't see the clock. Oh, there goes Nick. Nick right here is the guy that puts on Brick Fan events. Can we give a round of applause to Nick over here? Nick, we're applying for you. This is for you. This is for you, yes. This is the guy in charge right here. So if you see anything that looks crazy, come see him. but yeah, they would take the clock off. So we wouldn't even see what time we have. We don't know what time we're at. And then they would put different times on the clock. So even if it's an 8-hour challenge, they'll put 7 hours when it's really 5 hours. And they would do stuff like that. They did that for season 1. And that was like, we had to kind of gauge where we were in our build. But then the holiday special was totally different. It was no stress. They told us to have fun, and they gave us extra time to have fun. So there were some challenges where we were getting close to the 1 hour mark, and maybe we need to add a little bit more. They would stop the time and say, hey guys, we're giving you 30 extra minutes to work. We want your celebrities to work too. All that. But it's for charity. We're not going head to head with everybody, but oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. Okay, so first and foremost, when you're baking cookies with kids, you don't let them take out the cookies out of the oven. What do? You let them add the finishing touches. That's what the celebrities do. That's why they give us probably a little bit of extra time. But I went for the wrong reasons, apparently. For the Spectacular Special. For the regular season, it's stressful. It's World War I. Like, it is playing dodgeball. Don't get yourself hit in the face. For the Spectacular Special, I went for the wrong reasons. I went there to just as team sabotage.
Oh, we got a response. Hold
on. Spoiler alert, I won that holiday special. So when it comes to letting your celebrity just do the finishing touches, I didn't do that with my celebrity. My celebrity was there 100%, and all her input was into every single build. So maybe you should have did that and you would have been competition. I'm just saying.
All right, next question.
Next question. Here we go.
Who wants to answer this? You can start. Oh, okay, I'll go into this. So it depends on the challenge. Like, for example, our first challenge, the parade float, they said, here's a blank slate, make a parade float on the blank slate, whatever you want to do. Just don't have it be like something that's super copyrighted like Star Wars. You can't call it the Force parade float. But yeah, so sometimes we like open base plate, and sometimes it's like, it has to be this tall, has to be this wide, you can't see through it, has to have this on it, and you have to fit within those guidelines in 8 hours. Good luck. So depends on the challenge a lot. And they don't really explain all those stipulations necessarily in the edit for our season. So anyone else want to weigh on it? Corey?
Yeah, that level of creative freedom was definitely there. Before we do any challenge, they would have someone come out or a team come out and just say exactly what Mark said. Here's the limitations to what you can do. Try not to make anything IP. If sometimes you're building and you do pull something out of your mind that is an IP, and they would come out and say, hey, this is a little bit too close to this. Can you change this up a little bit because you can't put it up there because we're going to get sued. So that's the level of change that we could do based on our creative freedom.
So one thing is that once they tell you what the challenge is, you go back to your station, then they'll have someone and read you the rules. You cannot physically see. There is no paper saying, here, these are the rules, these are the parameters, this is the IP, this is what you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to listen, and you're supposed to agree that you heard the rules.
So pay attention.
And we forget half of them before the challenge is over. I saw a question over there.
You want to have everyone answer, kind of? Okay, go ahead.
I can answer some of that. So yes, it is different for every single thing. No, Jamie and Amy don't teach you anything. You only interact with them out on the set when they actually come to talk to you. But we went in and there was a little bit of I guess you could call it a boot camp. It's very, very short, but they wanted to make sure, that there were certain things that you understood, especially sideways building. So not every Lego builder fully understands how that works. using brackets, and there's literally number counts for how sideways building works with what's called snot bricks, so studs not on top. So building on the side is super important. It's a lot faster, and it uses less bricks, and you can create more round, that type of thing. So there was a little bit of intro for that, and a little bit of a challenge, and then what's that thing called? Spike, the mechanical. So you see us all setting things in motion back there, especially on an iPad. So that's not commonly, it is sold from Lego, but it's not commonly used by all builders. But you can program it to do things very specific, like move forward 15 seconds, stop, spin around, come back, like really unique things. And so a lot of us had never even touched that before. So they do a quick 1 hour. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. No, not at all.
Yeah, we've come a long way from season 1, so you're welcome. That's awesome. We had none of that. We had none of that. It's just like you're learning how to swim for the first time, and they just throw you into the deep end and say, "Hey, survive." That's basically what it was for season 1. They didn't teach us anything. They didn't train us on anything. You came in there with what you knew about Lego, and you just went in. The most that they did was tell us what was in the brick pit. So they did give us a ledger of everything that's in the brick pit so we could familiarize ourselves. And even then, they still added things to the brick pit without telling us. And if a team found something, they took it for themselves. So it was really cutthroat in the early days of Lego Masters.
Yeah, in season 2, they upgraded and gave us a 5-minute video how to use the power functions, poorly explained. So it got better every season. So let's all take a moment to weigh in on casting or editing. Who wants to start?
I'll talk from here. So casting was very interesting because, again, this is the first time we've ever heard of something called Lego Masters. Before us, it was Australia. They did a version of Lego Masters before us. So, if you didn't have a VPN back then or way into watching it, you didn't know what it was. So they reached out to me through social media. Casting manager reached out into my DM. I put it to spam because I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought it was fake. And then they reached out to my email, and then, I pretty much started a conversation, went out to Hollywood, then got casted onto the first season. The edits, you are only seeing a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the time that we're working. Those 8-hour, 10-hour challenges, that's a lot of information. And if you have 10 to 12 teams, that's a lot of editing that they got to do to cram into a 40-minute TV show, with commercials and all that stuff. So there was a lot of things that we did on the show that did not make it to air, and there were things that I thought would never make it to air, made it to air. So it's really just a toss up and see what falls.
So the editing was interesting. I've only ever seen my own season once when it first aired, and recently I've gotten back into it and watched it again. It was actually pretty accurate, our editing, for the most part, at least from where we were watching. But one thing that always bugged me is that when a team was struggling, like, oh, this broke, or, oh, that's not going together, they're like clearly flustered and upset. They would cut to someone kind of glancing around as if they were looking at them and like scheming or whatever, like that or whatever, or or something. Or if someone's doing really good, they'll be like that. The face that looks like, oh, I'm mad that they're happy. No. Whenever we were glancing around, we were resting our eyes. Because if you spent 10 hours looking at this bottle right in front of me, your eyes are going to get strained really quickly. So if you're looking up at the clock or looking over or just like around a pretty large room, we're resting our eyes. We're not glaring at the other teams. That's just nonsense. That wasn't part of it. What? Anyway, but yeah, crap. What was the second part of that question? Casting, yes. I'm tired. Casting was interesting because we were also approached for season 1, both me and Mark, and we obviously thought it was a scam. Like, clearly they want some sort of info out of us. Who ever heard of Lego Masters? But we heard through the grapevine it was legit, so we followed up, and they really wanted us for season 1, but we told them we couldn't do it. They said, okay, all right. Season 2? Like, season 2? Yeah, all right. All right, fine. We'll put our paperwork in and have fun with that. So we filled out the application, sent them a bunch of pictures, did a few interviews, but we told them, guys, I'm sorry, we can't do it. But season 1 comes and goes. It's a huge hit, thanks to these guys. It was a big success. And we were like, me and Mark looked at each other and were like, yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. So they reached out to us again pretty quickly after season 1, and we got on right away, and that was a big success for us. Yeah.
answering the edit part of that is my favorite. So, yes, I thought I was going to be like cringing and hiding under a blanket for the edits because I don't remember what I said. And we filmed in 23. It wasn't released until 25. So I actually forgot a lot. We had a little group where we would talk to each other privately, so we tried to remind each other of some of the things we said. But otherwise, I didn't remember a lot. And there was one thing, because you have those interviews that you do where you're sitting side by side and they're interviewing. And I had said something in there that my sister and I had a little thing, and it was funny. I thought it would be there, and it wasn't. And I was bummed. But a completely different one came up, and watching myself say something that I don't recall saying at all is wild. Wild. But yes, we're not looking around the room at each other necessarily. You can only hear the people to your left and right. That room is huge, and there's a lot of things between. There's people running everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. So you can't hear the guy who's on the table. You're not glaring at him. You don't know what he's saying. And so that's, some of those things are funny. But there's so much edited out. And I know that I had a habit of singing when I was nervous. And they're on the mic and they're, Nikki, stop singing. Because they can't use anything that's happening, right? And you just annoy them in their ears. They're told to not sing a lot. But on casting, yes, I think all of us have the situation of being reached out to. You want to have social media, you want to have a presence, you want to be going to shows so that they can find you. Yes, lots of people apply every year for it, but having a social media presence helps, and they can see already what you're doing and what caliber. And then, they were happy that I had a sister. So I could have a sister too.
So I'll make this short, because ours was kind of a long journey. Tim decided to try out for season 1, and he just kind of put out a message to our Houston Lego Club and who wanted to do it, and I said sure. And because the Tim and Tim thing wasn't even a thought at that point. And we did pretty well, and then we didn't, because of COVID, didn't try out again for season 2, but then they reached out to me on season 3 because of our video and stuff from season 1, and so I was like, well, yeah, okay. And so they asked me to do it with my daughter first, but she wasn't going to do it. And so I said, Tim and I did great. So we did, and we became the alternate team for season 3. Got to hang out with these wonderful people for a week, and then got told, well, you were the alternate team, but try again, and maybe. And so we did for season 4, and we made it on. And so that's why I tell everybody, just keep trying, because they seem to have a system, and they want certain teams at certain times, and it does seem to work out for the best. The only thing I'm going to say about editing is I thought they did a pretty good job. The only thing I was disappointed, I love Will, and a big part of my wanting to be on the show was to interact with him and do stuff. And I don't know why. We talk to him every episode. In fact, if you ever see him in a walk-in shower commercial, I will be directing that commercial. We agreed on it. But none of our interactions with him made it on the actual show. So I don't know what happened there or what we did. But everything else seemed to be really good, and I enjoyed it immensely.
So season 1, I heard about Corey and Aaron because we all work together for the same company through an email. I see their pictures and, congratulate these, STEM instructors. I'm like, what? What is it? Is this like a joke? The idea of season 1 Lego Masters, I thought it was a complete scam. And so I stalked them online. I look at their caliber. I end up going head to head with Aaron at a Legoland building some kind of Christmas thing. And kid you not, I almost had to change my pants because he did such a great job sculpting while I'm doing just a basic snowman mosaic. And so right away I can see there's a huge contrast in our building ability. Season 2, they reach out to me. They see that I'm a technical builder. They're trying to match me with another female. She was like a rockabilly chick or whatever. I felt comfortable building, but not on camera. They saw that I can socialize because I'm a Zumba instructor as well. And I was just like, I don't know who this person is. Even though I'm easy to get along with, this person was very different from myself. So I told them, I'm like, I'll think about it. And then in that year, I basically practiced. And season 3, I knew which approach they had. If they ever do contact you, ask them simply, what teams are you kind of looking for? You know what I mean? Are you, whether you're going in with someone or what are you open to? Whether you're wearing overalls, or whether you're wearing a lab coat. You know what I mean? Having some kind of a niche. That way you are remembered. What kind of minifigure is going to represent you? So I was teamed up with Michelle, and we were the Latinos of Lego. So we were the first team that was featured talking in Spanish. So that was actually really cool. According to my family, I was filmed, and what you see is what you get. So you see me sarcastic. I would say that it was pretty accurate. The only thing that was editing, that was a little weird for our Spectacular Special, or this happens in many seasons where we do something in sequence. We had done the snowboarding challenge. So Corey actually broke the snowboarding mechanical structure. So he actually broke it. For once, it wasn't me that broke something. I wasn't supposed to do that, caramba. Anyways, so they had to fix the editing. They were like, oh yeah, I don't know, but they messed up the order. They didn't mess up the order, but they made it seem as if he was the last person to go, when technically I think he was the first person to go, and he broke the machine. So yeah, editing is weird like that.
Yeah, there we go. And thank you all for the awesome answers. We're going to be taking pictures right by that background as soon as we're done. And about 15 minutes from now, there should be an awesome Lego trivia. And after that, do we have build activity or no? No, 3:15?
3:15.
We have a speed building competition also has prizes up here later. So, see you for pictures. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, you got your card.
I just started
Separate, yeah.